Welcome to Unlimited Power. My name is D-Rod, and here's my guide to building and playing a Leia Organa deck at your local pre-release or sealed event for the Star Wars Unlimited trading card game's first set, Spark of Rebellion. Let's go ahead and take a look at Leia Organa and what she does. As a leader unit, she's deployed when you have 5 or more resources. She has a base attack of 3 and a health of 6. She is a rebel official unit. She has the raid ability, meaning that when she attacks, she gets a +1/+0 bonus. And her second ability is what we would call a game-breaking ability. When this unit completes an attack, you may attack with another rebel unit. This means you can do 2 attacks in 1 action. This is a game that only allows you to do 1 action, and then your opponent gets to do another, whether it is playing a card or attacking with a unit. Leia immediately breaks that rule, meaning she is going to be a very, very popular card at your local tables. I've seen this before in other Star Wars games, and I will tell you, like, this is one of those things that you need to be prepared for, because you will be surprised how quickly your damage will go up because of these type of units. Now, Leia has this very similar ability when she is not deployed. You can exhaust her to attack with a rebel unit, then attack with another rebel unit. So a lot of the cards we're going to look at today are going to mostly be rebels. We need to trigger Leia's ability, and we want to make sure a lot of our units are rebel units. Now, as all my guides go, I like to focus on the commons and uncommons, because those are the cards you're going to get the most of and is what really is going to fill out your deck. And so we're going to focus on these themes around Leia Organa and what she can do. Let's take a look at some of the cards that are in her aspect already of green-white. First is Battlefield Marine, a easy low-cost unit that you can play on your first turn that hits really hard with 3 and has 3 health. Notice the rebel symbol there. Next is Rebel Assault. You thought Leia's ability was already game-breaking? Pair it with Rebel Assault. Pay 1, attack with the rebel unit, and it gets +1/+0 this attack. Then attack with another rebel unit, and it gets +1/+0 for this attack. Let me give you the prime scenario here. You have Leia in play. Let's say you have the Battlefield Marine. You play Rebel Assault. It's the first turn. And even better, you have Mon Mothma out, right? So it's the first turn. You play Rebel Assault on Leia. You attack with Leia, who now gets a +1 bonus, along with her raid. She hits you for 5. Then you play, then she triggers her ability and swings with the Battlefield Marine. The Marine hits for 3. Then you get to complete the Rebel Assault bonus, and you choose a third unit. This unit's going to be Mon Mothma. Give Mon Mothma that +1/+0, and you hit for 2. So all in all, if we look at Leia, Battlefield Marine, and Mon Mothma, you have now hit your opponent for 10 in only 1 action. You have used 4 actions in 1. You played a card, you strengthen your opponents, and then you swing with 3 different units? That's why this card is so good, and it's only an uncommon. Now, Mon Mothma, when you play her, you're going to be able to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a rebel, reveal it, and draw it. The one thing Leia decks like these need is they need the engine to keep going. You need momentum. You need tempo. You need to be putting out a card every turn. And if you can put out 2 cards, that's better. But you want to make sure you're refilling your hand as much as possible with the ability to play these cards. Some of the other cards I want to recommend are General Dodonna. He's a card that when he comes into play will be the target of your opponent, because other friendly rebel units are going to get +1/+1. Now, Dodonna has 4 health, so he can be a little bit difficult to kill, but not too much. And immediately he's going to impact the board state. Your other rebel units can take advantage of Dodonna being in play. Imagine playing Dodonna after Leia and then using Leia's ability. So your opponent wants to kill Dodonna, but maybe needs 2 actions to do it. You put Dodonna out, your opponent swings into Dodonna, he has 1 health remaining. Use Leia's ability, swing with 2 rebel units, giving them the +1/+1 bonus, and Dodonna has done his job well. Again, Fleet Lieutenant's another one of those cards. When you play it, you can immediately attack with another unit, and if it's rebel, give it +2/+0. If it's Leia, swing with another unit in that same action. Next is Wing Leader, a 3-cost space unit that you can play to give 2 experience tokens to another rebel unit in play. In the cunning aspect, which is yellow, I'm going to recommend Rogue Operative, a saboteur with a Raid 2 ability. This one is dangerous. You can hit for 4 and bypass all Sentinel units. I love it. Next is Lothal Insurgent, a low-cost unit that you can put out early, or you can use its ability later on. It hits for 3, and I think that's already pretty cool. But when you play the card, if you played another card this phase, each opponent draws a card, then discards a random card from their hand. This is going to help you eliminate some of the cards your opponent was really hoping they could play against you. Next is Ezra Bridger. We talked about momentum earlier and trying to keep pace. Ezra helps you with that. He's a low-cost rebel unit, and whenever he completes an attack, you can look at the top card of your deck, and you may play it if you have the resources, discard it, or leave it on top. This is going to give you the future knowledge you need, but it's also going to allow you to play cards from the top of your deck. Always swing with Ezra Bridger first if you can, so you can see the options available to you. In the aggression aspect, I'm going to recommend Green Squadron A-Wing, one of my favorite spaceships in this game. It has the ability of Raid 2, so it immediately turns that 1 into 3 when it attacks. The next card I'm going to recommend is Benthic 2 Tubes. Now, there's a lot of great Rebel cards in red, but 2 Tubes is the one I think really stands out. He's low cost, and on attack, another friendly red unit gains Raid 2. Being able to use 2 Tubes with Green Squadron A-Wing, I think, is already a solid choice because he can give that +2/+0 to any arena. So give it to the A-Wing, and it can now swing for 5. Sabine Wren is also a great unit to put in there. She has that on-attack ability that allows her to damage a unit before her attack of 2 does, or she can damage a base as she's swinging. In the Vigilance aspect, I'm going to recommend Make an Opening and Takedown. 2 great events here, but you want to keep them low cost to keep up with Leia's tempo. Essentially, once you hit a certain value, unless you have some other cards that are going to be beneficial, you want to stop probably at 5 or 6 resources. Make an Opening and Takedown are low cost. They can essentially make an opening for you and your units to swing, while still allowing you to play other units if you need. Restored ARC is another great low-cost rebel unit that heals your base for 1 every time it attacks. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the green aspect of which is known as Command. So the Bright Hope is a great 4-cost uncommon. When you play it, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to your hand, and if you do, draw a card. This will be beneficial if you already have a unit that's taken some points of damage, maybe like Dodonna or the Fleet Trooper. Being able to return it to your hand means you'll be able to put it back out and either trigger its effects or just put it back at full health. The Bright Hope also has Sentinel and has a good amount of health there of 6, so it should buy you the time you need to finish off your opponent. Next is going to be the Patrolling V-Wing. It's not a rebel card, but it is going to draw you cards and put another body out there in the space arena. Drawing cards is important, which is why I added it in here. And lastly is Strike True, a good card that's going to give you some removal, just in case you need it. Now, most of your units are going to probably have a attack of 3 or 4, but Strike True may be able to do that immediate damage you need to get through someone's Sentinel unit and allow the rest of your units to continue to hit your opponent's base. These are the cards I recommend you try in your Leia sealed deck. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you win. Let me know if you lose. I want to hear about it. Good luck, have fun, and may the Force be with you.